The U.S. House of Representatives is set to vote today on releasing the Jeffrey Epstein files.
They can do whatever they want. We'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much because, honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem.
So obviously that's U.S. President Donald Trump speaking ahead of today's expected vote on a bill that would force the release of documents related to the convicted sex offender. If it is passed in the House, that same bill would face a vote in the Senate. President Trump, a bit of a 180 on this one, right? Changed course in recent days, is now calling on Republicans to support the bill. For more on the vote and where this controversy could go next, we are joined by Louis Krasinski, postdoctoral fellow at the University of Toronto's Department of Political Science. So we're looking at a bit of a 180 here. I mean, for months, President Trump has called the push to release these files a, quote, hoax. Why is he changing course now?
Yeah, it's a complete 180, and one of the more stunning reversals, I think, in the length of his presidency. And you know, this would be the equivalent of him turning around tomorrow on tariffs with Canada and saying, "I've changed my mind. We're going to have free trade," right? So, why are we seeing this today? I think it's because of internal pressure in his party. You know, for weeks now, he's been trying to quiet everybody on this issue. He's been trying to sweep it under the rug. He's been bringing in Republican members of Congress into the White House for, you know, one-on-one meetings to try to get them to withhold their support for bringing this bill forward, and it hasn't worked. So he's at the point now where he wasn't really left with another option. This bill was going to pass in the House regardless of his stance on it, and so, yeah, I guess he clearly calculated that he would rather save some face here, you know, as opposed to this being even more of an explicit loss for his presidency.
So the Epstein Files Transparency Act is calling on the Justice Department to, I'll quote here, publish all unclassified records, documents, communications, and investigative materials in DOJ's possession that relate to the investigation and prosecution of Jeffrey Epstein. So what could be in here? I mean, what new information is this bill hoping to uncover?
Yeah, I mean, it's unclear, and I think most people would just be guessing at that question, but it's an important one, and I think the answer is that there's, you know, going to be a lot more in here than I think people would expect. You know, there's going to be more information probably coming to light about Trump, especially in his connections with Epstein. There's going to be more information about, you know, other known associates of Epstein, and there might even be more information about people that previously, you know, we weren't aware that there was a connection to Epstein. I kind of think that if Trump was less concerned about this, you know, for the past few months, then, you know, maybe we could have concluded that there, you know, wasn't much, you know, that new information that was going to be exposed, but that's obviously not the case. So I think it has the potential to be quite damaging to him and to other people, and to, you know, really expose how deep that this scandal really goes.
So let's talk about the process. So if the bill passes the House, it will need at least 60 votes from the Senate. And that's the interesting part of this, right? Because the Republican Senate caucus has 53 members. The Democrats have 47. That means the bill needs the support from at least 13 Republicans. How likely is that?
Yeah, it's another great question. I would have said a month ago, incredibly unlikely. You know, it seemed that this, you know, bill was going to be dead in the water as soon as it hit the Senate. But today's a new day. Now that Trump has done his 180, that's sort of given permission to a lot of Republican members of the Senate to now also change their tune on it. So, you know, the question is really going to be if there is, you know, overwhelming support for this bill in the House, and that there's more renewed public attention to this bill, can the Senate really reject it? And, you know, they need 13 members of the Republican Party to approve it and vote in favor of it. And, you know, that's now looking more and more likely. Now, it still has a long way to go. Obviously, it has to pass the Senate, and then, you know, Trump has to not veto it when it hits his desk.
Well, that's the other part of this, right? Because then, okay, let's say it clears the Senate, and then it would still need President Trump's signature. If the president signs the bill, let's say, okay, how soon could these files be released?
Yeah, well, that's the other question, right? Because it's sort of, is the DOJ going to play ball? And that's the Department of Justice, right? Like, there's one thing for, this bill to actually pass, but then, can they claim that a lot of information is top secret? Does it actually come to the light of day? Are they going to drag their feet on this? There's a lot of other sort of, hurdles, I think, for more information about this issue to come forward. And, I think one of the big things that you can't miss is that Donald Trump, as president, could have released this information months ago, but has chosen not to. They didn't need an act of Congress to release information from the Epstein files. We're only here because nothing had been done on it to this point. So we could really see some feet dragging in the future.
Well, Louis, we appreciate your time this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.